The North African Campaign was a series of battles fought between the Allied forces, led by the United States, the United Kingdom, and other Commonwealth nations, and the Axis forces, primarily represented by Nazi Germany and Italy. The campaign began in 1940 and continued until 1943, with the goal of controlling the Mediterranean region and its vital supply routes. North Africa was of strategic importance due to its proximity to Europe, the Middle East, and access to key resources. Kasserine Pass, located in western Tunisia, was a critical strategic point in the Atlas Mountains. It served as a gateway between eastern and western Tunisia, allowing control over key transportation routes, including the road to the Tunisian coast and the city of Tunis. Whichever side controlled Kasserine Pass could potentially flank the enemy and gain access to the vital ports and logistical support along the coast. Therefore, capturing or defending Kasserine Pass was crucial for both the Allied and Axis forces to secure their positions in North Africa. Overview of the opposing forces. Allied forces. 1. United States. The American forces were part of the Western Task Force during the North African Campaign, comprising divisions like the 1st Armored Division and the 34th Infantry Division. 2. United Kingdom. The British First Army, along with Commonwealth forces, played a significant role. British divisions like the 6th Armored Division and the 78th Infantry Division were actively engaged. 3. Free French forces. Under General Henri Giraud and later General Charles de Gaulle, the Free French forces fought alongside the Allies. They contributed troops and resources to the campaign. Axis forces. 1. Germany. The German Afrika Korps, led by General Erwin Rommel, was a formidable force in North Africa. They were well equipped and experienced, having engaged in previous battles like the Battle of Gazala. 2. Italy. The Italian forces, including the Italian 10th and 21st Corps, fought alongside the Germans. They provided substantial manpower but often lacked the advanced weaponry and equipment of their German counterparts. These opposing forces clashed in a series of battles, with Kasserine Pass becoming a focal point of the campaign due to its strategic significance. Prior to the Battle of Kasserine Pass, Allied intelligence conducted extensive reconnaissance missions. Specialized units, equipped with aerial and ground surveillance tools, were deployed to gather crucial information about enemy positions, fortifications, and troop movements. These reconnaissance efforts aimed to identify weak points in the Axis defenses and provide valuable data for strategic planning. Codebreakers and signals intelligence experts were deployed to intercept and decode Axis communications. By deciphering enemy messages, the Allies gained insights into the German and Italian military plans, enabling them to anticipate enemy movements and respond effectively. This intercepted intelligence played a vital role in understanding Axis strategies and adapting Allied tactics accordingly. Allied commanders, including American, British, and French leaders, collaborated to create a cohesive battle plan. The divisions of forces among these commanders were carefully planned, taking into account the strengths and specialties of each unit. Coordination meetings were held to ensure a unified approach, leveraging the diverse skills and experiences of the Allied troops. To avoid confusion and ensure efficient communication, clear lines of communication were established among the Allied commanders. Regular briefings and strategic meetings were conducted to share intelligence, discuss tactics, and synchronize efforts. Liaison officers were appointed to facilitate real-time communication between different units, ensuring swift responses to changing battlefield situations. Adequate logistical planning was essential to sustain the Allied forces during the battle. Stockpiles of ammunition, food, and medical supplies were amassed to support the troops throughout the engagement. Medical units were equipped to handle casualties, and field hospitals were established to provide immediate medical attention to the wounded. Continuous supply lines were maintained to replenish essential resources as the battle progressed. Supply depots were strategically positioned to ensure proximity to the front lines while remaining secure from enemy attacks. Well-guarded transport routes were established, safeguarded by military police and armed escorts, to guarantee the safe delivery of essential supplies. Engineers worked to maintain and repair roads, bridges, and other infrastructure, enabling the seamless movement of troops and supplies to the battlefield. By meticulously addressing these aspects of pre-battle preparations, the Allied forces were better positioned to confront the Axis troops at Kasserine Pass, maximizing their chances of success in the upcoming battle. The Allied forces launched a series of well-coordinated attacks on key Axis positions at Kasserine Pass. Different Allied units, including American, British, and Free French forces, simultaneously engaged the enemy, applying pressure from multiple directions. This coordinated assault aimed to overwhelm the Axis defenses and create openings for further advancements. Intelligence gathered during reconnaissance missions was swiftly utilized to identify vulnerabilities in the Axis defenses. Allied commanders analyzed this information to pinpoint weak points, such as gaps in the enemy lines or poorly fortified areas. Exploiting these weaknesses, Allied troops pressed forward, capitalizing on disorganized enemy positions and gaining ground in the initial stages of the battle. As the battle unfolded, rapid deployment of reserve units was crucial. Allied commanders strategically positioned reserves at critical points identified through battlefield intelligence. These reserves were swiftly moved to reinforce sectors facing heavy enemy resistance or potential breakthroughs. This dynamic response prevented the Axis forces from consolidating their positions and allowed the Allies to maintain momentum. Continuous intelligence gathering during the battle provided real-time information about enemy movements and responses. Allied commanders made tactical adjustments based on this intelligence, adapting their strategies to counter Axis initiatives effectively. Flexible maneuvering of troops and resources ensured that the Allies could respond promptly to changing battlefield dynamics, maintaining the upper hand against the Axis forces. Allied air forces provided continuous cover over the battlefield, disrupting Axis movements and communication lines. Fighter planes engaged enemy aircraft, ensuring air superiority, while bombers targeted enemy supply routes, troop concentrations, and artillery positions. By limiting the mobility of Axis forces and disrupting their command structure, Allied air support significantly hampered the effectiveness of the enemy's counterattacks. Artillery units employed precise and well-calculated strikes to weaken enemy strongholds. By targeting key defensive positions, artillery fire inflicted heavy casualties on the Axis forces and destroyed fortifications. Artillery barrages also played a crucial role in demoralizing the enemy, disrupting their formations, and creating opportunities for infantry advancements. Close coordination between ground forces and artillery units ensured maximum impact on the battlefield. Allied psychological warfare units broadcasted propaganda messages aimed at demoralizing Axis troops. These broadcasts highlighted the successes of the Allied forces, emphasized the inevitability of Axis defeat, and encouraged surrender among enemy soldiers. The goal was to erode the morale of the Axis troops, creating doubts about the purpose and outcome of their fight. Specialized psychological operations were conducted to create confusion and panic among the enemy ranks. This included spreading misinformation about Allied troop movements, generating false rumors about the arrival of reinforcements, and employing deceptive tactics to mislead the Axis commanders. By sowing discord and uncertainty, these psychological operations disrupted the enemy's ability to make informed decisions, further weakening their resolve on the battlefield. Through these tactical approaches, the Allies successfully engaged the Axis forces at Kasserine Pass, capitalizing on their strengths and exploiting the vulnerabilities of the enemy, ultimately leading to a turning point in the North African campaign. Following the victory at Kasserine Pass, Allied forces pursued retreating Axis troops relentlessly. Fast-moving units, supported by air cover, pursued the disorganized enemy forces, preventing them from regrouping and launching a coordinated counteroffensive. This pursuit disrupted the enemy's ability to reform their defenses and further diminished their morale and cohesion. Allied troops swiftly moved to secure key strategic points, including towns, road junctions, and critical supply routes. By controlling these areas, the Allies ensured a smooth flow of reinforcements, supplies, and information. Securing these points also denied the retreating Axis forces access to vital resources, hampering their ability to regather strength for future offensives. Allied engineers and military units worked together to fortify captured territories. Defensive positions were reinforced, trenches were dug, and anti-tank obstacles were erected. These defensive measures were put in place to repel potential Axis counterattacks, ensuring that the hard-won gains at Kasserine Pass were not easily overturned. Constant vigilance and readiness were maintained to thwart any attempts by the Axis forces to reclaim lost ground. With Kasserine Pass secured, the Allies reinforced their positions with additional troops, artillery, and armored units. Reinforcements were also brought in to replace exhausted or depleted units. Simultaneously, supply lines were strengthened, ensuring a steady flow of ammunition, food, medical provisions, and other essential resources. This reinforcement and resupply effort bolstered the Allied presence in the region, making them more resilient against potential enemy offensives. A thorough analysis of the Battle of Kasserine Pass was conducted. Military strategists and commanders examined both the successes and failures of the battle. Successful tactics were identified and incorporated into future battle plans. Likewise, shortcomings and tactical errors were studied to understand their root causes and prevent their recurrence in subsequent operations. This critical self-assessment aimed to enhance the effectiveness of future Allied military strategies. Debriefings were held with commanders and soldiers who participated in the battle. These sessions provided valuable first-hand accounts, enabling commanders to gain insights into the realities of the battlefield. Additionally, intelligence gathered during the battle was carefully analyzed and shared among Allied commanders. Collaborative intelligence sharing enhanced the overall situational awareness, allowing for more informed decision-making in subsequent engagements. By exploiting the victory, consolidating their gains, and learning from the experiences at Kasserine Pass, the Allied forces not only solidified their position in North Africa but also honed their strategies and tactics, paving the way for future successes in the campaign against the Axis powers. The Battle of Kasserine Pass dealt a significant blow to the Axis forces in North Africa. The defeat disrupted their coordinated efforts, causing a loss of both manpower and crucial military resources. This weakening of the Axis military presence paved the way for further Allied advances in the region, gradually diminishing the Axis foothold and influence in North Africa. The victory at Kasserine Pass had a profound impact on Allied morale and confidence. It served as a turning point, demonstrating that the Axis forces were not invincible. Allied troops gained a newfound belief in their abilities, bolstered by the successful coordination, strategic planning, and bravery displayed during the battle. This increased morale propelled the Allies forward with renewed determination in subsequent campaigns. The victory at Kasserine Pass opened up new opportunities for the Allies to conduct offensives in North Africa. With weakened Axis defenses, the Allies could exploit vulnerabilities in the enemy lines, seize key territories, and advance further inland. This strategic advantage allowed the Allies to push the Axis forces on the defensive, gradually reclaiming control over North African territories. The lessons learned from the Battle of Kasserine Pass provided invaluable experience for future military operations. Allied commanders and troops gained insights into effective tactics, intelligence gathering, and coordination. Analyzing both successes and failures enhanced the Allied forces' ability to plan and execute subsequent campaigns with greater efficiency and precision. Outstanding bravery and leadership displayed by individuals and units during the Battle of Kasserine Pass were commended. Soldiers and commanders who demonstrated exceptional courage and strategic acumen were recognized for their contributions. Decorations, medals, and commendations were awarded to honor their exceptional performance on the battlefield. Fallen soldiers, who made the ultimate sacrifice during the battle, were honored and remembered. Memorial services and ceremonies were held to pay tribute to the brave men and women who gave their lives for the cause. Their sacrifice was acknowledged, reminding the Allied forces of the cost of freedom and inspiring them to continue the fight against the Axis powers. The Battle of Kasserine Pass stands as a testament to the power of Allied cooperation, valor, and resilience. It showcased the ability of diverse Allied forces, American, British, French, and others, to work together effectively, pooling their strengths and strategies. The battle highlighted the bravery of individual soldiers and the leadership of commanders, reinforcing the idea that unity and courage were pivotal in the face of adversity. The victory at Kasserine Pass marked a pivotal moment in World War II, setting the stage for subsequent Allied successes. It provided crucial lessons, demonstrating the importance of intelligence, coordination, and adaptability in military operations. As the Allies moved forward, they carried the spirit of Kasserine Pass with them, reminding the world of the indomitable courage that fuels victory. In closing, let the valor displayed at Kasserine Pass be a beacon of inspiration. Stay bold and brave. The challenges of today may be different, but the spirit of unity, determination, and courage that led to victory at Kasserine Pass remains timeless. With bravery as our guide, we face the future, knowing that together, we can overcome any obstacle that stands in our way. Stay bold, stay brave, and let history remind us that even in the darkest hours, courage can light the path to triumph.